Hey, baby, you know I'ma turn you up. Walk a flame. I got you.
Hi guys, Big Hand of Light, and welcome back to another video of Seduce Me. Last time we had a bit of a turnaround. Let's see, our grandfather passed away, we got the mansion, but our father wants us to move in immediately, and then sooner or later take over the family company. But we don't really want that. We just want to be happy with our others. Now we're back in school, where Lizette apparently bumps into us on purpose. I'm saying that because it's true. So let's get started. She let out a small laugh as she twirled her hair around her finger. Lizette, one of the last people I wanted to see today.
It's not me you should be apologizing to. Oh, Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lizette? Of what? Her grandfather's passing. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news. It doesn't really sound like you mean it. I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I? Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out the bat from behind her back right this moment.
And nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lizette, which was mostly comprised of people that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. No one had the slightest idea why exactly they followed Lizette around persistently, but they labeled themselves as social equals with her.
That is out of line! Suzu comes from an honest family! Says the one whose family profits from political scandals. Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the courts with dirty politicians. Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
Just stop. Stop acting like that already, like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you wanted, and now seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness seeped into me, and words started flying out of my mouth without filter. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw what was in front of me. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lizette. I'm sick of all these charades. I'm sick of you. Gasps rose from the crowd around her. And I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my friends beside me looked at me in surprise. Sorry for the silence, but just that my little sister's a little behind the camera, and I think she really wants to join me. I think I'm gonna let her come sit next to me. But she has to be very quiet. Understood?
Yes.
Good girl. Do we see you on the camera? Do we see you? Yay! Barely! There we go. It's kind of bad. Okay, here we go. So, do you know what game we're playing?
No.
It's a game called Seduce Me. I'm her.
Oh.
But she does not look like me at all. And apparently you're squishing my phone. Actually, we're gonna make a video soon, with my new phone. I have no idea how much time it has this thing for the camera, but I do know it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna use it to make a new, we're gonna continue the Fire Emblem Awakening game soon. The minute I get my 3DS out, we're gonna start recording, and she's going to once again use my phone. What's up this one? You don't mess up.
Okay.
Let's continue. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lizette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion in her face that I couldn't quite make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. No, don't you dare pity me. I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
I think this will work. Sure, we see me more, but hey, better than nothing, right? She stepped towards me and put her hand on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile as if for old time's sake. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just so angry at her, but the expression on her face when she leaned in close to me contorted into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed. I messed that word a lot.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
Something about Lizette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I had never seen her like that before, but I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway with her gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Mrs. Phillips, who was walking down the hallway towards me.
Is everything alright, girls?
If you guys remember in the previous episode, where we had to pick the name, apparently if you pick Naomi's name, Susan's just gonna be saying like "bah." She's not gonna like it. And then if you picked like that you wished you could run fast like Suzu, Naomi's gonna freak out because she thinks that you're turning into like another Suzu.
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs. Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know, he was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I wanted to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather. Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Would we?
Yes.
Everyone seemed to have high expectations for me. I wanted to do my best to make my family proud, but to be better than my grandfather? I wasn't sure about that. We're not sure. I'm not sure. Ah! I'm not sure. And there were minions on you. Ah! From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car. It's my mom! Blue car pulled up to the curb. Undoubtedly, it was my father in the driver's seat. Blue car? My dad drives a white car, not a blue car. That's so confusing! Ah! Oh, my ride's here. Well, I guess I'll see you both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
Oh no, it's okay. Haha, I'll be fine. See you. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching at his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering him.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt?
If you're confused about that, little sister, it's because he literally slapped me.
Oh.
Yeah, we got into a fight because of grandfather, and he slapped me in anger, so he's sorry about it. No, it's nothing to worry about.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
Again, elf like years. Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out to the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started to drive and the conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded so lonely and sad. It was strange that he decided on living all alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us, though he and my father probably would have never given each other silent treatment the entire time. Maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, and I had grown up long since then. The last time I visited, though, I thought he looked just as he usually was, happy and healthy. But things changed. In the back of my mind, I knew that he would have to leave one day. It was like humans could live forever. So why did my heart still feel so heavy? The car ride was mostly spent in silence, until he spoke up again.
How was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Yeah, I've been trying my best so far.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is it?
My father, only some words that I said were filtered through his ears. It was difficult to keep up a conversation without eventually talking about academics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He always found a way to integrate it whenever we talked.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent now.
Yes, I can manage on my own. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. One question did linger in my mind, though. If he was going to justify acting so natural at grandfather's new funeral, I had the right to at least know why. Oh, this is the time. I actually played a little earlier with Mika, just keeping the name Mika, and I tried the other ones I didn't play, and I tried to leave it alone, but it was just so boring. So I'm gonna try again, because I didn't pick it, instead of leaving alone. So I'm gonna try it again. Say, Dad, about you and Grandpa.
We are not talking about this.
Seriously? I feel like we should be, because Grandpa did leave us yesterday, so...
I wouldn't care if he had left even long before that. I do not want to hear it, and that is the end of this conversation.
As always, he managed to shut down any other form of conversation related to him. It was just like what happened last night. I opened my mouth slightly, but I closed it again. It was like talking to a brick wall. It wasn't like I couldn't find out anything, but by somehow arguing my way through it. All right then. I leaned against the car door and stared at the window. I really couldn't think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was one thing visiting, and it was another thing actually living there. How would I manage living on my own without any training to really care for a house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents, who inherited grandfather's stocks to the corporation, but I had never lived independently before. Thinking about it made me feel like some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest, though I was technically an adult. I felt unprepared and a bit daunted at the prospect of actually moving into a new place. Most people my age would be ecstatic moving out. After all, it would symbolize some kind of change in their lives, of being on the road to independence. But I felt like it was nothing of the sort. I really hoped that I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let grandfather down. What would he be saying right now? I gazed up the past. Would you stop messing with your lip or your teeth? She loves her teeth and she won't let it go. And stop messing with my wire. If you keep messing with it, I'm going to tell you bye-bye. Be an angry kitty. Angry kitty.
Got you.
I need my fingers all over the mouse. Okay. I gazed up at the passing clouds in the sky. If you're out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you'd want to tell me at this moment? And of course, no answer. What was I doing? Searching for an answer in a heaven that would or would not exist. I ducked my head to stare at the blur of trees and cars from the car window. My head was definitely going into the clouds there at the moment. Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. Do you want to go and eat something or drink something right now?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
What about the toys on the table? You might need to pick them up.
Which one on the table?
Yes, the vinge and stuff. You need to put them away. Maybe you can even change the channel on TV to watch something on TV.
I don't want to watch something on TV.
Fine, fine, fine. Yeesh, I have an annoying little sister right now. A very annoying little sister. You guys know what I feel like? Thank you for understanding. Shall we continue? The car rolled to a stop and drifted out of my thoughts. And I drifted out of my thoughts.
Here we are. Go on in.
Alright, tell Mama I love her.
All right.
I love you, Dad. No, make sure to come by and visit us often. No, I'm going to miss you lots. Nothing other than a blank stare. I paused a bit before reaching for the car door handle, waiting for any form of a goodbye, but he didn't speak again. I sighed and exited the car, hearing my dad pop open the trunk. I saw the 2 large bags I packed last night that were large enough to carry only the things I needed. I took them out, placed one bag on each shoulder, and closed the trunk. He then drove off, leaving me alone in front of the mansion. I watched the blue car fade into the distance of the road before turning to see my new home. There it is. It's huge. My grandfather gave me this? It's hard to believe. The house was framed by a set of tall grates, and I unhesitantly pushed them aside to take in the entire estate. Eep. Oh, wrong thing. Whoopsie, last one I missed. Whoopsie daisy. Who knew what was waiting for me? But I wouldn't back down at this moment. I took out the key to the front door and unlocked them. Well, might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here for quite a while anyways. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor was a group of men. They were all unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were there in the first place. I dropped my bags and I let the door close on its own behind me. I'm going to save here. And then I leave the main menu. This was the second part of Seduce Me. I hope you guys loved it like I did. Did you like it?
Yes.
What do you expect about the third chapter when we meet the boys?
Yeah.
What do you expect? You have no idea.
I don't have any idea.
Well, I'm going to scoot you away because now you're no longer needed in the video. So, move in. Move in. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
That was my little sister. She can now get off my bed. She's like a kitty for some reason. Anyways, I hope you guys loved the video like I did, and I hope you guys to see you guys soon. Bye bye.